Hello and welcome to Joy News at 6. The news is live on Joy 99.7 and hits 103.9 FM in Accra, in Kumasi on Love 99.5 FM on Facebook live stream, and over 30 affiliates across Ghana's 16 regions, including Radio Wawa, ATL FM Cape Coast, KTU Radio Koforidia. Go digital on Spotify and the myjoyonline.com app. Coming up, suspected land dispute at Jolu in Accra leaves one person injured with property destroyed.
I need fire service, so I need fire service. That person is not there, though.
We'll tell you more, plus hear from the police. And as President Akufo-Addo meets interest groups today ahead of a crunch cabinet retreat, a banking expert is charging government to cut down on meetings and address economic challenges.
The problems are so myriad. There are too many that has to be addressed. It's not just a question of meeting people.
And in our latest edition of the Living Standard series, transportation fares eroding incomes, the cry of Ghanaian workers lamenting the difficulty in adjusting to high cost of living with static salaries.
The salary I was receiving in January, that's the same as salary I'm taking now, but I spend more than 100 cedis on transportation.
I can see tattoo for 4 months.
And in business,
Ghana likely to undertake some form of debt restructuring. We hear from Standard Chartered Bank's African Markets Reviewed report. That's on the Joy Business Report.
And later in the bulletin, it's a dream come true for some national science and maths quiz contestants who will be on stage for the finals on Wednesday.
We were watching the quiz with my mom, and then a settle riddle came. I think the answer was carbon dioxide. After answering it, I felt I can do this.
We'll hear how the NSMQ dream for one of them started from class 4. These and more here on News at 6 with me, Bernice Abu-Baidoo Lansah. Thanks for choosing us. Joy News, independent, fearless and credible. The details now. News coming in indicates that dispute over a parcel of land at Central Jolu here in Accra has left one person injured. A vehicle believed to belong to this individual has also been destroyed. The police says they've been able to restore calm.
No, but me I can do. Forget about me. Do your worry about it. We need Ghana fire service, so I need fire service. So.
My colleague Joseph Akablay joins me in studio with more. Joseph, what more do we know about this incident?
So there's an amateur video showing individuals running away from a black Toyota Land Cruiser V8 vehicle. There's a motionless man lying less than 20 meters from the car, which is on the left side of the road and has its left front part stuck. So there is an amateur video showing individuals running away from a black Toyota Land Cruiser V8 vehicle. There's a motionless man lying less than 20 meters from the vehicle, which is on the left side of the road and has its left front part stuck in a gutter. The motionless individual is bleeding from the head region and there's a slight move of his left hand at some point in the video. The vehicle is burning and one person can be heard saying, "The person is not dead and I need an ambulance."
Well, and Joseph, that video is posted mainly on social media and it comes with a caption, "Shooting incident at Jolu." But what has the police been saying about this?
It's a brief statement on a Facebook page titled "Disturbance at Jolu, Accra over disputed land." And it says the police are in control of the situation and calm has since been restored. We therefore wish to urge the public to remain calm. Further developments will be shared in due course.
And we will share those details with you once the police gives us the information. Away from that, President Akufo-Addo is being charged to invest in sectors that will lessen the pressure on the cedi from international currencies. Banking consultant Dr. Richmond Etiahene is also asking government and the central bank to address the economic challenges facing the country and cut down on meetings.
Everybody is looking for imports. Nobody is talking about exports. And we are not building the export base to support us to generate the foreign exchange. And that would help us the currency to go up. Unfortunately, over the last 5 years or some years, we haven't done any good thing about export. So meeting them, fantastic, because we want to ensure that the price is done right. But you see, if it is not there, definitely people would have to find it somewhere and be speculating into it. So for me, the problems are so myriad. There are too many that has to be addressed. It's not just a question of meeting people.
Dr. Richmond Etiahene is a banking consultant. Well, for senior lecturer at the University of Ghana Business School, Professor Lord Mensah, government can reverse the free fall of the cedi by encouraging local production of goods and services.
Meeting, the stakeholders involved, which are the banks and all those, probably is going to solve or reduce the speculative drive of the city. But then looking at the seasonal aspect, which has to do with, Christmas festivities. But then what we have to look at in the medium to long term is how we can structure the economy. The essentials that we consume, that we can grow in our environment, we can, produce them here to reduce the importation of them.
That's senior lecturer at the University of Ghana Business School, Professor Lord Mensah. Ahead of a crunch cabinet retreat this week, President Akufo-Addo is engaged in some interest groups. Presidential correspondent Elton Brobe joins me in studio for more on the meetings. Elton, run us through the groups the president will be meeting today and the agenda.
So it's a busy day for the president, Bernice, whilst the economic management team will be meeting this afternoon. President Akufo-Addo will also be engaging in some interest groups. So he will meet with the Association of Ghana Industries. He will also meet with the Ghana Association of Bankers and then Council of State. And this one, the agenda is clearly spelled out. The Council of State meeting is on the economy and issues relating to Galamsey. And then we'll end the meeting with GPRTU and transport operators. And this meeting, I'm told, is to prevail on them to come down on their proposed 40% increment that they have announced on transport fares. So clearly, these meetings, according to my sources, is to get a buy-in of these individuals and groups ahead of the Crunch Cabinet meeting for the next 3 days starting on Thursday.
Elton Brobe is our presidential correspondent. We stay a little longer on the economy because importers and traders have accused the Ghana Revenue Authority, GRA, of increasing benchmark values at the ports, leading to escalation of import duties. In a statement, President of the Ghana Union of Traders Association, GUTA, Dr. Joseph Obing, says the use of the benchmark value as a valuation method is illegitimate and contrary to the World Trade Organization's valuations. GUTA described the GRA's actions as unacceptable and demanded a halt to the abuse of their discretion. Now, transport fares are put pressure on the income of workers. Some of them say their income has not changed, making life unbearable. Bernice Abu-Baidoo has the rest of our story for our Living Standard series today.
The salary I was receiving in January, that's the same as salary I'm taking now. But I spend more than 100 cedis on transportation.
I can sit at home for 4 months and go to work for a month. So how do you survive? You spend all your money, you can't even buy anything. You can't even save.
It is a busy morning in Accra's business district. Thousands of people are commuting to their various destinations. Among them are workers who, despite stagnant wages, are now spending more on transportation costs. Many people are now living on the outskirts of Accra to avoid paying high rents, but they are spending more money on transportation. I meet Richard, a carpenter on his way to see a client. His daily commute is at least 40 cedis. He has a wife and 6 children.
And in and out, sometimes 60 cedis. So because of that, you have to sleep at the site so that you can get the job done. You have to save money. There's so much expenses. And you are aware, children, school fees, feeding fees. I mean, it's a whole lot. Sometimes you want to give up, but you can't give up because you are giving birth to them already. You have to do all that you can to make sure that they go to school, they eat.
And that was Bernice Abu-Baidoo with our latest edition of the Living Standard series. Now to the NSMQ. Lionel Sefa Boakye-Yadom was only in class 4 when he started dreaming of representing his school at the National Science and Maths Quiz. He was watching one of the contests with his mother on TV. A correct answer to one of the questions, even at that level, convinced him he will do well as a contestant. Well, many years later, he's living the dream, carrying the hopes and aspirations of Prempeh College. His story mirrors that of other finalists who will also be on stage for the grand finale of the 2022 NSMQ. Maxwell Agbagba has more.
Spontaneous jubilation here at the Sarah Mensah Auditorium. Prempeh College has just qualified for the finals of the 2022 National Science and Maths Quiz. On stage smiling is one of the school's contestants, Sefa Boakye-Yadom Lionel. His inspiration to be an NSMQ contestant started many years ago.
On class 4, we were watching the quiz with my mom, and then a settle riddle came. I think the answer was carbon dioxide. So after answering it, I felt, oh, I can do this, so I tried my best.
For one of Adesadel College's contestants, Pakwisi Abuaji, his interest to represent the school started after completing junior high school. That year, a disco's performance was not the best.
Started when I completed junior high school.
The 2020 Science and Maths Quiz is produced by Primetime Limited and is sponsored by the Ghana Education Service in partnership with APSA Ghana and supported by Goyle, Prudential Life Insurance, Airtel Tigo. The broadcast of the National Science and Maths Quiz on Joy News is supported by Virtual Infosec Africa, Virtual Security Africa, Vitamilk, Cowbell, Alumni by Enterprise Life, Fatex Toilet Roll, Ace Medical Insurance, Azar Group, Kings Group Limited, Family Health Medical School, DBS, ZNZ, the Basto School, Koba, and Lumitrust.
SmartSap and NASCO are also part of our broadcast sponsors. The finals of the 2022 National Science and Maths Quiz will be tomorrow, Wednesday, slated for 2 p.m. at the Great Hall of KNUST. It will be live on the Joy News channel and on Joy Prime. And that's how we end this edition of Joy News at 6 with me, Bernice Abu-Baidoo Lansah. I really appreciate your company. Do log on to myjoyonline.com for more news. The Super Morning Show continues.